And good day. Welcome to Tironan's Unfriendly Skies, where everyone wants you dead. All right. So today we have the MiG-9, and this is a fun video. Well, it was fun for me. Perhaps not for the other side. Now let's take this puppy out and see what it can do. The armament on this from the DPS would seem to be no more than normal. However, the results you get from it are something entirely different. Let's take a look at it and see what we can do here. Oh, he only lost half his health. Okay, so we got a couple of mangled fighters here. And we'll go ahead and bang on this guy for a little bit. One dead. Let's come around. We'll roll, half turn. It's called a split S, by the way. And we'll send him to go home and think about it. Let's come around. This guy's been on my tail. I did not tell him he could camp on my tail feathers. So I'm going to explain it to him. And he can go home and think about it for a while. Let's move on. There are other people we need to come and see and talk to. Now, this heavy fighter wants to engage me. And that's fine. Let's go have a chat, shall we? My. There's one thing about these guns, they will definitely tell you when you're on and off. Because when they're on, things tend to explode, and when they're off, their bar doesn't move a bit, does it? Okay, we now have the command base. And we're a little bit behind on points. Kick this thing around. It's not the most maneuverable fighter in the world, but it is quicker than all get out. We need to explain things to this gentleman in a way he can understand. Getting 23mm and 37mm cannon, smacking your tail feathers is a good way to gain understanding. Let's move along. We have bombers. I do not like taking after bombers in heavy fighters, but our heavy fighters do not seem to be doing the job right now. Let's just go ahead and thump him a little bit. It's too late. They've already dropped their bombs, and not worth my time. But here is somebody after one of my teammates. Since the aircraft that you preserve are your own, actually help you. You go to attempt to survive him, but he decides he wants to ram instead, and he did it with so little health points that he croaked. So we're in the rolling game right now. When you find yourself in that, it's time to slow down. Now again, the speed of this aircraft really comes into play. There are to be any close on them very rapidly. I've yet to get a good shot in on him. He's down about half health. And sooner or later, I will get a good hit on this gentleman if somebody doesn't sneak up my tailpipe and explain it to me. He's after my bombers, and I want my bombers to succeed. So, I am not interested in him living. There we go, finally. Far too long. Well, it isn't always perfect. We don't live in fantasy land now, do we? Coming right along. Bye. Thought I was going to get rammed there again. Seems to be the new meta. Especially condoned by World of Warships. They think it's just a great thing. Not sure why, but they do. Alright, he decides to save himself by going into a useless series of rolls. And you teach him that he needs to go back and find some better evasion techniques. Good. I'm glad I got that fellow. That 800 DPS coming out of his nose is not something you want to go head to head with if you can avoid it. And he can get 5 salvos of that 30-inch high explosive murderous ammunition. Alright, we now have 3 bases to their 2.
They've almost got us.
And this ground attack aircraft needs to go away. Now I just got Conqueror. Must be doing something right. Doesn't mean we'll win the game, but it does mean I'm doing something right. Or at least I kill a lot of aircraft. Which in a fighter is usually something right. I've been a slow convert, but I do appreciate the firepower in the MiG-9. That was too close for counting. And we'll thread through, shred another engine. Could really use some help here. I doubt I'm going to get it, but we'll see. Sometimes they surprise me. Well, even the mighty fall from time to time, don't they? Okay, so, for all my hoobers, I'm dead. Now, if I follow the advice I give to mouthy people at this stage of the game, when they start picking on team members for why they lost and why they're destroyed, I tell them that dead men should shut up. But since I'm producing video content, I'm not really allowed to do that. Okay, so that's life in the big city. All right. I'm going to wrap this one up here pretty quickly.
Bomber squadron detected.
And our F-84 went the way of the dodo bird, but we seem to have just gotten all sorts of good stuff over here. 14,475. All the normal stuff. Got first. Got Conqueror, whatever that is. We get Legend. If I can't pronounce it right, I'm not going to say it. Anyway, we did good. Let's get back to the hangar. We'll see what we did. And it's nice to win and come in number one on your team. You feel like you really did something. $157,000, 11,550, and 577 for experience and 4 tokens. I'm not going to scream a whole lot about that one. I think I did just fine. I am, you can see here how many kills I got. No assists, by the way. Tells you I was running solo again. Nothing new there. Please, if you see that player online, tell him hi and what a good job he did. Alright, this is going to wrap it up for me. Please remember to like the video, to subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow. You have been flying Tironan's Unfriendly Skies. However, there's one thing to be aware of. This is the place where everyone wants you dead.